Yeah.
Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization. So that is when you have a small company and you want your company to rank the highest on Google. So if someone types in teen, student, service, travel, yours will be at the top. So I'm going to brag a little bit here, but when I started, we were on like page 11 if you searched it. And when I left, boom, we're on the first page under all these other suckers who paid. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. So the leaders that work for us, we have just some stats. The average age is about 25, but we do take people as young as 21. We choose them from hundreds. Literally, I would have to interview and Skype interview with all these people. And one time, this is my favorite interview story, I was Skyping with someone and there are a lot of details in the job. And a question I always ask is, how organized are you? And the guy said, oh, I'm really organized. My mom is a professional organizer. So I say, I should bring your mother to my bedroom. Put my head down and I'm like, oh my God, you're hired immediately. You didn't come to work for us. So the people that come that are with us are teachers, they're graduate students, they're seasonal workers who like will teach skiing and then they'll lead trips and they'll come and work for us in the summertime. But then we have opera singers, we have composers, we have comedians. One of my friends who got me into this program actually is on the waiting list for the SNL cast, so everyone cross your fingers. All right, so the qualifications for these types of trips. Raise your hand if any of these apply to you. Experience working with children or teens. Great, you're all eligible so far. Spanish speakers, anyone habla de español? Okay, we got a few. Anyone scuba certified? All right. What about any sort of wilderness skills, backpacking, kind of the backcountry stuff? Construction work, Habitat for Humanity, a little bit, yeah, that kind of stuff. Proven leadership. You should all raise your hand. Proven leadership. So these are the types of qualifications we look for in the leaders that I'm interviewing and we want to bring on board. So the great part of the job is every year we have our 9-day leader training. I'm going to show a quick video here. Hopefully the sound works, and it's from our training in. Almost? Okay. This is from our training in 2000, just this past year. Oh, God. Here it comes, proven it. Okay. Here we go.
Go back to staff training and just be reminded of why I do what I do.
It can be hard to do what we did if we didn't have a good 10 days together to hang out, learn what we need to learn, but really hang out and have some fun.
Staff training at RLT is kind of like be a good person camp. We all come together, a bunch of strangers, we don't know anyone, and we learn how to work together, communicate, and accomplish anything and everything.
For me, staff training was fantastic. It was a good experience, tight-knit community. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Staff training was great. We went rafting.
I think staff training is a great time to build up a little bit of emotional energy before you go out on the trips. It's about getting to know people who really care about this kind of work and finding out how they do their job so that you can do your job better when you get out there in the field. And I love that I'm part of this.
I needed some Did you guys get that? All right, so what you just saw is staff training. We have it every year. It's nine days long. It's really fun. What do we have? We go over the expectations of of the program and what we want you guys to do in the field. We learn and refine leadership skills. I'm going to show you some of those coming up here. We model a trip. What is it like to be out in the field? What is it like to be with Kobe in Costa Rica? How is that? What are the processing activities that we want you to go through each night so that you can bring these students hopefully to a newer, holistic, educational place? That didn't make sense. Learn the logistics of the summer, which are who are the kids that are with you, what time do you need to be everywhere, what are the like your reservation numbers and all this stuff, all the little details you need. So something we focus on, and I'm going to kind of take you through a mini training right now, hopefully you guys are up for it, is something called the stages of group development. And this is it's been studied quite a bit, and you should maybe even think about if this has been true for your time on the ship so far. So supposedly, according to these psychologists, there are 4 stages in a group development, and it doesn't mean you're going to get to all of them, but these are 4 potential ones. So the first one is forming. This is when everyone is getting to know each other, they're on the best behavior, they're just figuring out the group. It's like the first couple days on the semester at sea, and you're trying to just get to know everyone, right? As a leader on the trip, you're responsible for the icebreakers and the team builders so people can come out a bit. Next is the storming phase. This is when everyone kind of argues and you get into you kind of become more of yourself and you maybe bump heads with people. I'm still in this with the communications team actually, so we're trying to work through it. Kristen will talk later. From that, hopefully, so as a leader, you gotta, as a leader, during that, you've gotta be the moral authority, you gotta keep them going through, you gotta make sure that they will get through this storming phase and people don't kill each other, I guess. So next you get to the norming phase where everyone is themselves and they kind of get along, like, all right, I don't like this guy, but we can still work together, it's fine. But ideally, as a leader, you want to get to this performing stage, which is where everyone is at their best and everyone is working hard and accountable and they run their own conversations and everything works. I've been on 3 trips, and one of them I can say got there, and the other 2 not so much, but we don't need to talk about that. So something else we talk about in training is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Has anyone heard of this phrase? If you've done any sort of leadership stuff or psychology class, you've probably heard of this, so I'll go through it quickly. The idea is that each of us can travel up this hierarchy, this pyramid here, and as we satisfy each need, we can then reach our full potential and we'll become self-actualized. So the way they go is this way. Once you have all of your physiological needs met and you're fed and you have eaten enough, that's the same thing. You're fed and you have water and you're well rested and you can breathe and you're alive, then you've done this one. So as a leader, you want to make sure this is always met with your students. Safety. Once you feel like you're not in danger, it's pretty clear. You've met this need. You've got housing. You're not going to be eaten by a bear or something. Belongingness. So you are then part of a group or a community or a family or your friends, and you feel like you are part of something bigger than who you are. Then while you're in this group, you feel proud of something. You have high self-esteem. You're confident. You're doing the things that you are proud of, and people are recognizing you for it. Then finally, if you get there, it's self-actualization, and you have become the person you're meant to be, and you are just reaching your full potential. So as a leader, we're thinking about a training like how do we work through and make sure all the trip is based so that we can get our students to another plane of how they view themselves and how they view the world. So it's a lot of thinking that goes into just leading teams up here. This is boring. So WOW PB, this is another thing I'll go through it quickly. It is it's a mnemonic to help you, or an acronym to help you remember what happens if there is an emergency. So first one is W is what happened. So you're hiking and John breaks his leg. That's what happened. That's the objective truth of it. Now that he's broken his leg, what are our options? We can carry him out. Can he walk himself? What do we do with all the other kids? How does this work? So you got to think about how will we handle this emergency. Who needs to know? Do you have to call the home office? Do they have to call the parents? Do you have to call paramedics? How do you handle this situation? Then what's the plan? Are you going to carry them out? Are the leaders going to stay with the other students? Are you going to take them? How does it all work? And then the bottom line, John needs to be safe. Everyone needs to get home safely. If he has to go home because he's got a broken leg, so be it. But that's the process you got to work through at our company of how you handle an emergency. All right, so next I need volunteers to learn about command mode. Raise your hands, I'm going to bring you up, not all at once. All right, you, I need 2 more. Yes, come. And then you way in the back. Yes, you in the blue. All right, so stand up here. And what's your name, sir?
Henry.
Everyone, this is Henry. Tell me your name.
Christina.
Christina, welcome. And then,
Christina?
who is this? What are you know? Dawn, welcome. Dawn, right? Yeah. Okay.
Dawn.
Thank you guys, it's Dawn. So when you're a leader on the trip and you want to make sure you're getting everyone's attention, because you're going to be friendly with them and they don't always they like you, but they may not listen to you because you're friendly with them. And you got to make sure you assert your authority at one point. So there's something called command mode. Okay. So say you're hiking in the Himalayas and there's a cliff side and kids are messing around near it. You want to be able to get their attention, tell them to get away from it. Or say you're in an airport and you're late for your flight. You want to be able to get their attention and say, you guys got to get on the flight, okay? So I'm going to have you guys go into command mode right now, okay? And I'm going to need your help as well. So, sorry. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, stop what you're doing! Like really serious, because they're in the command mode. So now I'm going to have all of you kind of talk with each other, mill around as if you're in an airport, not caring, you're just a teenager. And Mr. Henry here is going to shout, and then you're going to be like, oh man, he's serious. And you're going to stop what you're doing. All right? So you're in an airport, go. You're hired. That's perfect. All right, Christina, you're next. You're all playing next to a cliff on the Himalayas. Kicking a ball, maybe a kite. And here we go, and Christina.
Which one of you are going to
Stop
fall
what you're
first?
doing!
You're all safe. Thank you, Christina. You saved the day. And now next, there's a bunch of kids who are going to try to jump in. You're all trying to jump into like a wolf pen, and you gotta make sure you're not doing that. So you're jumping into a wolf pen. Go.
Okay,
Stop what you're doing!
And no one gets eaten. Thank you guys. Thank you. There it is. Command mode. You've gone through training. One second.
It's a good photo.
All right, so we talk about this, and it is fun, and these trips are a lot of fun, and you get to hang out with kids and do these fun, adventurous things. But it's also a really tough job. There's a lot that goes into it. The Peace Corps motto is the toughest job you'll ever love, and I think that applies to this as well. So I'm going to walk you through an amalgamation of all the things that can go wrong in one day, and you get a sense of what it might be like and how stressful